Welcome to Vision Charter Academy and your homeschool experience. Today we're going to be looking at some homeschool tips, specifically setting up your learning space and scheduling your program. We will be looking at how to create a learning environment that is optimal for both the primary mentor and the learner. The first thing to do is to establish a specific study area in your home. What would be best for you? The dining room table, or possibly a specific area set aside in your living room. Could also be an office desk. One of the things that we want to remember is it needs to be comfortable with plenty of room to work. As a primary mentor, you will need to be able to monitor your students' progress and be readily accessible for any questions or support that they may need. Once you've established where your study area will be, then you can begin creating an enjoyable learning environment for your student. Start by establishing a place to keep the books and your learning supplies. Shelves are ideal. Each student can have his or her own shelf to keep their books, their supplies, their projects. You could also designate a shelf or a space for your school supplies, such as your pens, pencils, lined paper, all of those art supplies and crafts. If you don't have shelves available, crates or a sturdy cardboard box is also a great option. Each student can decorate their own and have their own space. A whiteboard is a great tool for your homeschool environment. It allows your student to have an alternative to just the pen and paper all the time. And it also allows you as the primary mentor to be able to have a place to give instruction. Maps can also be a very helpful tool to have hung up in your study area, whether it's a world map, one of the United States, Colorado, or even a map of the planets or outer space. All of these are great visual aids in education. Now that you have your study area set up, we will need to create a study schedule. What do you want your routine to be like? Remember that you need 4 to 5 hours a day set aside for schooling. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to follow the traditional schedule of 1 hour a day for one subject. You can have flexibility in there. Some students study better in a 2-hour setting instead of a 1 hour, or every other day. For instance, your schedule might be every morning you're going to start with some language arts, followed by some math. But on Monday and Wednesday, then you're going to have a block of science. And on Tuesday and Thursday, you'll have your block of social studies. A lot of families like to set Friday aside for a wrap-up or activity day. You might want to do your projects then, or maybe some retakes or redos. Also a great day to set aside for field trips or outings. All of the individual learning plans, or ILPs, have targets written out for the students, specifying what they are to do each week. It is very helpful to take those targets and write them down in a visible place in the study area. What am I supposed to do in language arts this week? What do I need to do in social studies this week? It gives you the opportunity to break it down day by day, and then once they're finished, the student can go up and cross off or check off what they've done. This allows the student to chart their progress through the week. It also allows the primary mentor the opportunity to see what has been finished. Check papers as they are completed, and that way you have the opportunity to go back with your student and go over any problems that they may have had, or revisit a concept that they may be struggling on. One of the challenges that many families have in establishing an environment in the home that is conducive for learning is minimizing those distractions and interruptions that just naturally come by being in a home. It is definitely a family endeavor to reduce those silent conversations with others, keep the TV off during study hours, and minimize the use of all electronics. For the primary mentor, it is important that you try to stay at least a week ahead of the curriculum pacing. By doing so, you will have that opportunity to really get comfortable with the subject you're teaching and to research anything that you are not totally confident about teaching. It also allows you to be ready for that unexpected and gives you time to get those needed supplies on hand so that all of the education continues to run smoothly. Full-time homeschooling is just that, full-time. It takes a lot of effort by the student, but it also takes a lot of effort by the primary mentors. But as you go through the school year, you will find it so rewarding and exciting to know firsthand that your children are getting the quality, individualized education that you want them to have. I trust you have found this video helpful as you start your homeschool experience. If you have any additional questions, please contact your HQC or your POC.